Welcome back, everyone, to your favorite movie review channel. I know it's been a minute, been busy catching up on new releases and releases from late last year. Saw a couple films that I missed last year and unfortunately could not add on to my best ofs, but there were a select few that actually should have made it on there, and this today being one of them. Very highly controversial, taboo stuff that we're going to go with John Glazer's latest, The Zone of Interest. Before we get to that movie review, let's go ahead and take care of some biz. Let me introduce myself at first. You don't know who I am? It is me, Peter Mann. What's up, y'all? Let's go ahead and have you press like, subscribe, and be sure to hit the notification bell as well to notify you of any and all reviews to this channel. As always, whether you are new or one of my day ones, I want to just thank you and know that I am blessed to have you here. Thank you for choosing Mann Cinema Reviews. The Zone of Interest is about the Commandant of Auschwitz, Rudolf Haas, and his wife Hedwig strive to build a dream life for their family in the house and garden next to the camp. Now, this is highly controversial stuff coming from a director like Jonathan Glazer. Under the Skin, Birth, Sexy Beast. This guy only makes a few films every so often. I want to say every 8 years, perhaps. Basically takes a decade and gives us something very visually arresting or emotionally taxing. But this film plays with the atrocities and war crimes of Nazi Germany being stationed in Poland. This family, the head of the household, Rudolf, is a commandant for Auschwitz, literally their backyard. It just seems like the front part of their home is basically at the entrance of the infamous Auschwitz. And what Jonathan Glazer does is give you a slice of life for this family, for this German family. And Rudolf shields his wife and children of the atrocities, even though they probably already know what's going on the other side of the fence. And we don't get an in-depth look at the concentration camps. Rather, what Jonathan Glazer decides to do is pay attention to how he's using his sound design and capture the atrocities from afar. You hear people shouting, you hear agonizing pleas and screams, and you hear German being spoken in a nice way. And you also see smoke from far away, and that is assuming that that's either from the chambers, the gas chambers, or people being burned, or even the incoming slew of Jewish people that are being transported from train. So you see the smoke from the locomotive coming to Auschwitz. And what Jonathan Glazer decides to do is have our minds capture the atrocities of what was going on in the concentration camps. I know, not another Holocaust movie. How many of those do we need to see? It's almost like slavery films. But what Jonathan Glazer does best in this film is to keep the atrocities at a safe distance, if you will, and not perpetuate the violence and definitely not sensationalize the atrocities of what was going on with the Nazis. And rather, you just are seeing the smoke signals, if you will. Where there is fire, there's flames. And Jonathan Glazer does this in a kind of tableau type of way. He sets up these shots and these motifs, and there are long stretches of silence. And what the film does best is it captures an eerie part of history and very haunting and disturbing events that went on with the genocide of the Jewish people by Nazi Germany. And what it decides to do is not confront you with the violence, but rather it is playing in the background, and your mind does all the work. You are picturing the graphic atrocities that are occurring. And what it decides to do is focus on a family. This Nazi commandant, moving up higher in the ranks, has to go away to provide for the family. Violence of Nazis against the Jewish people is really disturbing to just hear in the background. And Jonathan Glazer decides to do this in a way that manipulates the audience of not seeing graphic depictions of violence, but rather hear it, and you are your mind is doing all the work. Jonathan Glazer is a director that's very polarizing. He makes a film like Birth and Nicole Kidman, having this widow find this boy who is a reincarnation of her dead husband, and does she fall in love with her husband again in the form of this little boy? I mean, that is just taboo stuff altogether. He started off with the bang with 2000 Sexy Beast. I have never seen Under the Skin with Scarlett Johansson, but that is something that I think came around 2013, 2014, if I'm not mistaken. But that's something that I want to go ahead and watch immediately after watching The Zone of Interest. Jonathan Glazer and the cinematography and even the score is very Kubrickian. I felt there was moments that mirrored the score of Kubrick's last film, Eyes Wide Shut. And in this part, it's Mika Levi, who has done a lot working with the director that did Jackie, and I think this is another collaboration with Jonathan Glazer. But the music is eerie, and it captures the vibe. This film is all about vibes, and the overall vibe is destructive. It's the mundane of the day-to-day lives of these just horrific people that live normal lives, that have family outings, going and swimming at a lake, having a picnic, having a party in the backyard. This is a family unit, the nuclear family, but put it in the context of being a part of the heinous Nazi regime. And this is what you have in The Zone of Interest. It just depicts the life and times of this Nazi commandant, and then just gives you a slice of life of the horrific atrocities that were occurring just literally in their backyard. The Zone of Interest will get a 4.5 stars from Mann Cinema Reviews. Thank you very much for choosing Mann Cinema Reviews. We have much more new reviews of films in 2024, and be looking forward to that. Thank you very much. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.